September 16, 1992. A man sitting in a modest Midtown Manhattan office just made $1 billion. In a single day, not by luck, not by insider trading. By seeing what an entire government refused to see. His name is George Soros, and this is the story of the most audacious financial trade in history. Born August 12, 1930 in Budapest, Hungary, his father Tivadar was a lawyer, a man who had already survived in 1944. Nazi Germany occupied Hungary. Tivadar did something extraordinary. Young George posed as the Christian godson of a Hungarian government official. In 1945, he survived the Battle of Budapest. That experience, surviving when everything around you is falling apart. In 1947, with the communists taking control of Hungary, with almost nothing to pay for his studies at the London School of Economics. Think about that. At the London School of Economics, Soros studied under the philosopher Karl Popper. Popper's idea of the open society, a world based on freedom, democracy, and the rejection of dogma, shaped Soros's thinking forever. But Soros also developed his own theory. He called it reflexivity. The idea was simple but revolutionary. Markets are not rational. Investors don't just react to reality. They create reality. When enough people believe something will happen, their actions make it happen. Markets are constantly in a state of uncertainty and flux, and money is made by discounting the obvious and betting on the unexpected. George Soros. In 1952, he graduated. For years he struggled to find work in finance, but eventually, he got his break. In 1956, he moved to New York City and began working on Wall Street. In 1969, while working at investment bank Arnhold and S. Bleichroeder, Soros launched his first fund, the Double Eagle Fund. Starting capital, just $4 million. His own personal contribution, $250,000. In 1973, he left the firm with his partner Jim Rogers to start Soros Fund Management. Just the two of them and one secretary. They renamed the fund the Soros Fund. Later in 1979, it became the Quantum Fund. The results were staggering. From 1969 to 1980, just 11 years, the Quantum Fund returned 3,165%. The S&P 500 returned 47% in the same period. By 1981, Institutional Investor magazine called him the world's greatest money manager. If you had invested $1,000 with Soros in 1969, by the year 2000 it would have been worth $4 million. But his greatest moment was still to come. To understand what happened in 1992, the European Exchange Rate Mechanism, the ERM. In 1979, European countries created a system. In 1990, Britain joined the ERM, but here was the problem. Britain's inflation was triple Germany's. Every serious economist knew it. Soros saw it. Through 1992, he had been quietly building his chief portfolio manager, Stanley Druckenmiller. On the night of September 15, 1992, the financial world took this as a direct signal about the pound. Soros moved immediately. By the morning of September 16th, $10 billion against the British pound. The Bank of England fought back. The British government raised interest rates from 10% to 12%. In a single day, nothing worked. At 7 p.m. on September 16, 1992, the pound collapsed. The cost to British taxpayers, $3.3 billion, and the profit for George Soros, over $1 billion. In one day, he was officially dubbed. Now here's the part no one talks about. This wasn't just about the money. Soros proved something that changed finance forever. The British government had the full force of a central bank. Soros had a theory and a telephone. His reflexivity theory was proven right in the most dramatic way possible. What the British government called a disaster, it is not whether you are right or wrong that is important. Ironically, and this is the part most people miss, entendre ardency. After Black Wednesday, Soros continued to trade globally, not always successfully. In 1994, he lost hundreds of millions betting on the Japanese yen. In 1997, he was accused, wrongly, of triggering the Asian financial crisis. In 2000, the Quantum Fund lost billions in the tech bubble collapse. But his overall record remains one of the most extraordinary in history. Average annual returns of over 30% for more than 2 decades. And then, something shifted. George Soros decided that making money was not enough. By the time you watch this video, George Soros has donated over $32 billion of his personal fortune to the Open Society Foundations. $32 billion. To put that in perspective, that is more than the GDP of many countries. In 2020, Forbes called him the most generous giver in terms of percentage of net worth. In 2025, President Biden awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor. The boy who survived the Holocaust in hiding, he gave it all away. Here is what George Soros teaches us. 1. See what others refuse to see. 2. Conviction is everything. 3. Survival shapes everything. 4. Money is a tool, not a goal. And 5. The markets are never rational. So, here is my question for you, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments. September 16th, 1992. You know the pound is overvalued. You have the chance to short it. Would you have had the courage to bet $10 billion? Leave your answer below. And before you go, I want to ask you something else. Who do you think was the greater investor? George Soros, who made $1 billion in one day betting against a government, or Warren Buffett, who made $21 billion by investing during a crisis? Comment below, Soros or Buffett. If you found this story valuable, please hit the like button. It takes 1 second and it helps this channel reach more people who deserve to hear these stories. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next wealth story. Next week we're covering the investor who predicted the greatest financial crash of the 21st century and made $700 million while everyone else was losing everything. Who is it? Come back Monday and find out. This is the Investor's Vault, the stories that made the world wealthy. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial or investment advice. The Investor's Vault C, 2026.